What makes us resilient? What makes some people continue to pursue their goals and dreams in spite of roadblocks or challenges? What if all we needed was an opportunity? Imagine if we trusted our talents, our abilities, and our strengths, then took a chance on ourselves. FutureProof is a Cincinnati State faculty and student-created podcast where students, alumni, and employers share adventures in learning outside of the classroom. We hope you will cheer, cry, and laugh along the way as we share our students' stories of resiliency and overcoming the odds. Find out what happens when we finally stop saying no and start saying yes.
Welcome back to part 2 of our conversation with the unstoppable Cierra Campbell, who's teaching us a lot about how she approaches opportunities in life with a mindset that is not either or, but both and. Yeah. So you do the research, and then you get out of school. You're getting recruited all over the place to come and work. And so tell us about that, because P&G, I'm sorry, I'm mentioning P&G, but they wanted you to come and work for them. And you were like, I don't know, because that wasn't really my career goal.
Yeah, so first of all, God is amazing, right? I'm a very spiritual person. Like, I'm sorry for the people that aren't, no shade, but Lord Jesus, he's amazing to me, right? I should have mentioned him immediately. He'll do things in your life and set you up to talk to certain people that you didn't even know was there to give you a message and receive that message. 3 different people I talked to. One person, we both went to Cincinnati State together.
It's like a parable.
Yeah. He was like, oh, you know what? I applied for P&G. You should apply for P&G. I'm like, that's not where I want to work. Remember, healthcare professional, right? I'm trying to get in Children's Hospital.
Right.
Forget all that. I'm not going to no P&G.
P&G who? Well, yeah. The largest global manufacturer of all kinds of items for your home, right? And beauty, right? Who's P&G? I got goals.
Now, this is before I worked at P&G. Let me say that.
Yes, this podcast is happy about P&G.
we like P&G.
Nobody at P&G was hurt by this podcast.
Touche, Jay. Touche. I love it. Okay.
So I was like, I'm not going to P&G. First person, second person, no relation, no knowledge of this other person. Hey, you go to school for science? You thought about working at P&G? I was like, no, I'm not doing it, right? I'm content. I'm like, no, I'm not working at P&G. That's not where I want to go. I want to get into Children's Hospital. And I kept saying it because I'm a person that believes if you speak it into existence, it'll happen, right? This is me. Children's Hospital, that's where I'm going.
Speak it into existence.
Right?
Yes.
Third person. Hey, no relation, no knowledge of the other person. You should work at P&G.
Yeah,
and it was that moment that I was like, okay, Lord, I hear you. All right.
I hear you.
I applied. And so November I applied. I was called the beginning of December. And they were like, yeah, let's set up your interview. We're going to set it up for the first week in January because everybody's going on vacation.
But in the meantime, on your own, you went out and did this other research on an undergraduate fellowship at Children's.
And
no, that's not the same time.
Okay.
I did apply, but okay. I see what you're going. Okay.
Well, so a long time ago, you had applied and missed the deadline, and you were like, nobody tells Cierra Campbell no. Nobody puts baby in the corner. No. Maybe I missed the deadline that time, but I'm never missing that again.
No.
Because once you know about something and once you get an idea of like, I can do that, there's no stopping you. You're going to do it. You're going to do it.
Nobody's going to tell me what I can't do. So I did. So before I applied to P&G in November, I did apply for the Summer Undergraduate Research Fellowship at Children's Hospital. I think that deadline, or you started in September.
Which is a huge process, labor intensive, all kinds of letters of recommendation, all sorts of work, which has never deterred Cierra. What?
No. Well, and P&G, P&G.
That's no easy feat to get into.
P&G has a psychological test and a quantitative test, and let's be clear, a lot of students would love to work for P&G and are eliminated by their extensive process. It's a really difficult process.
So what they told me when I was hired was that there is always 1 million applicants a year, and only 1% of that actually get hired on. And so that's their kind of like,
Sierra is the 1%. Girl. We knew that.
My dad retired from Proctor. I've applied like 500 times, and they're like, no. So I know. Like, I've tried. I have tried. Even after I got a counseling degree.
We might be able to drive the school bus.
Okay,
maybe.
I know.
Okay,
I know. Sierra's got plans for me. We're going to meet after this. We're going to have a meeting. She's going to help me.
We got a lot. We got a lot to do.
All right. Okay, so you apply for undergraduate research, but then God whispers to you through 3 people to work at P&G.
I love this.
And I forgot about the SURF program.
Yeah.
You kind of forgot about it.
That I have applied.
Because I'm applying for the global company. I forgot about this little undergraduate fellowship.
Come on.
They're trying to make me sound like I'm just, no, that's not what
we know.
Yeah.
We know who you know. Trust me.
Meanwhile, I applied for SURF, and then they're like, okay, you should apply for P&G. So I applied for P&G. While I'm doing that, I'm a kindergarten school teacher.
Oh. Because they got her off the bus and into the classroom.
How many hours are in your day? Because I only got like 24.
Remember in the Harry Potter when she does the thing where she can reverse time and be in 2 rooms at once? She took the juice, the potion. She drank the potion, and she's in multiple places.
Are the children at P&G? Do you sleep? Like, what is Jay?
She's doing the global quantitative testing in the class while she's asking the class to help her with the P&G.
They're doing the hair care studies in the class.
Yes, that's what they're doing.
Honestly, if I could teleport, I would. But I can't. We're going to figure out how to teleport.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. We're just be clear. Like
I know, I'm exhausted.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You are amazing, and we but we see you, and you're amazing. Please keep going. Please keep going.
Thank you.
So you're teaching kindergarten.
Yes. Yes, teaching kindergarten. Apply for P&G. Actually, the school, because I worked for a small Christian school, Zion Temple Christian Academy, shameless plug, it's an amazing school.
Nobody was hurt from the school.
They were like, oh, you have an interview with P&G. Okay, go take an hour off. I'll watch your class. Go, because the interview was virtual. Take the interview, and then when you're done, come back, right? Because they supported it. Like, they knew I was a scientist.
I'm picturing her at the P&G interview in the classroom with all the kids, just like throwing stuff, and she's hitting people. Like my mom, she'd go, I'm going to wring your neck.
Like, shut up! I'm going to wring your neck. Like, she's muting, like, be quiet, Tony! I'm sorry.
Okay, but they give you a space at the school to go to your interview, and they support you. They want. This is different than the school bus driving. This school wants you to they're like, Sierra, we want you in the classroom, but we know you're bigger than this.
Yes.
Okay, so you go.
And this was my daughter's school.
Okay.
So I think because they knew me as a parent, they knew me because I grew up, it's my church's school. Zion Temple First Pentecostal Church, another shameless plug.
No, it's fine.
It's my church's school. And so they've known me since I was a child to now, to a teenager, to now a parent with a child, to now a teacher / parent / scientist, right? So they've seen my whole life. So they're like, we know, again, I told you people in my life know me. Mm-hmm. We know how amazing you are. We know that even though you love this is not where you belong, right?
It's not your end game. This is not your end game.
This is not my end game. And so they supported it. I did the interview. I thought I butchered it. I was like, oh, well. It was great while it lasted, and they called me the next day, and she was like, oh, I heard you passed the interview. Congratulations. So much so, my manager, she was then my manager, she was the one that interviewed me, and she told them, I don't want anybody else interviewing her.
Yeah.
I want to offer her this position. And so the way P&G works is that once you have the main interview, it's like a panel interview, then you have a role conversation, which is different managers in different positions offering you or seeing if you're right.
She wanted you to skip the role thing. Don't even go. Okay.
The role conversation with my coach on the call, trying to convince me why P&G was a great place to work. Wow. And I was like, and at the time I was like,
most people are begging to get into P&G. They're begging you to come and work for them. They're like, Sarah,
and I
convince you.
I loved my manager. She really was an amazing manager. After my coach left the call, she was like, this is officially me offering you the position. And I was like, oh, I thought I had to pass another interview? She was like, no, I just really wanted you to see how amazing of a place this is to work. And so I wanted you to have a conversation with your coach, if you accept the position, to see if this is a place you want to be. And so she was like, I'm going to give you a week. I'm going to give you a week, right? Like, I was like, okay. But everything that P&G stood for, like PVPs, like their principles, I just couldn't pass up. And I now understood why the Lord was like, listen, don't pass this up trying to get to your end game when there's a couple of more stops that you got to make before you end. And so I was like, okay, this is where I'm going to work. And
nobody tells us how long it's going to take to get where we're going.
Nobody
we just got to keep moving in the right direction.
Correct. Yeah. And it's about the journey. Like, it's not about the end. Like, it's about the lessons you learn. It's just not about the end game.
But then other stuff happens. So
same day she offered me the P&G position, I received an email from Children's Hospital saying I got accepted into the surf program. So I was like,
and you've tried for a couple years to get into this. Has been like an
2 years.
ongoing.
This is the second year, right? The last year, I was like, oh, I missed the deadline. I'm not doing this again. The next year, I had pre-prepared. Like, if the application opened up September 1st, I had my applications completed August 31st. So I had everything ready to go. And I was like, I'm not going to screw this up this time. So I submitted my application September 1st. And I got both. And I was like, oh, no, I cannot tell P&G to hold off until August, right? Because at this point, it's February. I cannot tell them no. And I've been wanting to do the surf program for years.
I can't tell them no either.
I can't tell them no. So I did both of them. I did them both.
Because there's no or with Sierra.
It's not. I didn't have an option. Like, both of them were opportunities.
Yeah.
And I had to take them both.
Will you tell us how you did?
Oh, yes.
Please.
Yes.
Please.
So,
this is so crazy.
I started at P&G March 1st. And so I started to learn things and get acquainted. And the surf program started like the end of May, beginning of June. And so I was like, okay. I talked to my manager. I was like, hey, I have other things that I have to do.
I got big goals.
I didn't tell her that.
Okay.
I did not tell her that. But I told her I had other obligations that I needed to do. Is it okay if I come in from 6 a.m. to 12 noon every day? And I told her it was an end to it, right? I didn't just say, can it be consistent? I was like, it's over in August. Is it possible for me to come in Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then I'll work the last 2 hours from home? And she was like, yes, you can do that. And then the surf program, I told them, I'm like, I have another job. I work at P&G. Is it possible for me to come in from 1 to 6 or whatever is needed at the end instead of coming in during the day? And he was like, yes. They were very supportive. Both jobs were very supportive, right?
Sarah, what was it like for you? Because I'm picturing you're not the typical surf person, right? You weren't the typical undergraduate research at UC. And you are in these spaces with people that they don't have a full-time job to juggle. They don't have a child to come home to necessarily, and all that work. How'd you navigate that where you're like, I'm who I am and this is my journey in my life, but to be surrounded always by people that kind of had the luxury of just one thing, just one responsibility. And what was that like? How did you make that work in your head?
And I didn't have a problem with that. I think everybody else had a problem with that because I was a straight A student.
Oh.
So I had a 4.0 at Cincinnati State when I attended. I graduated. Well, I didn't graduate 4.0. I got a B. Now we know about that.
We talked about that class. Yeah.
And you know what? She works at P&G.
Okay.
She works at P&G. And honestly,
names.
it's not her.
Okay.
It is not her. It was the student that I was trying to help. I was trying to help that student.
It was crazy. Yeah.
And she literally just erased my name and put her name on it. And it was crazy because there were multiple students that I was helping. And then we were all like working in a group. And she was like, oh, this is a cheating ring. How? Cheating ring? We was all working together.
We're going to fix this in post.
I was like, a cheating ring? Ooh. Are you crazy?
A ring of fire.
Is that?
I fell into a cheating ring of fire.
I'm not even going to say what I'm thinking right now because it's like I just went like to monetize cheating rings all of a sudden. I was like, we can make some money. Okay, never mind.
The new podcast name is Cheating Ring. Okay, so you finish surf, you do your thing, but you don't just do this summer undergraduate fellowship. They want to keep you. They're like, how just really she was offered a CEO position at Children's and okay. So
he was like, if you wanna have a student co-op position here, you can. Like, you could work under me because it was a PhD student.
And this is at Children's.
Yes.
This is the place that you were like, P&G who?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you can come here, right? Am I right?
Yes,
okay.
You are correct. And so I had got accepted into UC. And the plan was to go to UC and then work at Children's in between breaks and classes, and then talk to P&G about when I can come in and when, try to figure it out. But I think by then I was burnt out. Like, I had went to school for 2.5
because there's only 24 hours in the day, and Sierra was working 28.
It took that. Like, I just wanted to ask, when you were like, I did the math in my head. You did, and I know what that hour between 12 and 1 would have looked like in my world, right?
Trying to rush and get
right, like my forehead's against the ceiling. There's a lot of coffee involved. There may be some speeding tickets, right? But like, that you were exhausted. You were tired.
Exhausted.
You did it. You did it well. Like, you got offered a job out of it.
Yes.
You did it well, but you're like, this was exhausting.
Not only that, but in my year-end review with my boss, I got rated a very strong because I did amazing performance.
At Proctor.
So I didn't have no option.
Which is not easy at Proctor.
No. It's not.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
And only in office for 6 hours.
And
working the rest of the 2 hours from home? No.
Is it also exhausting when Jane asked you, you were doing all these things and, you were not the typical person to do those, and you were like, I didn't have a problem with that. Is that exhausting, too, to be the only one in the room going 900 miles an hour?
No.
Okay.
No. I think what is more exhausting, so I am also an empath, right?
Yes.
Sucks. No, it doesn't suck. It's great. But I think
sorry. Sorry. I know it sucked.
I think the exhausting part was hearing other people's stories and feeling like that their lives was like way harder than mine. Right? And it's like, girl, you working 2 full-time jobs. You got a whole kid. Mind you, I was making sure that I picked her up from school or found a way to see her so that she wouldn't feel like I wasn't seeing her. Because there was one comment she made at 5 years old. This was when I was a school bus driver. And it hurt my heart because I was making sure kids got to school on time.
Right.
But I couldn't even take my own daughter to school on time. I was making sure kids got home on time. But I wasn't making sure my own baby got home on time. And her comment was, I wish you could take me and drop me off from school. Take me to school and drop me off. Yeah. So guess what I did? Every day, even to this day, I will take her and drop her off to school if that's what she wanted me to do. Her whole entire career at Zion Temple Christian Academy. Of course, she was 5, so that's kindergarten. But like, when she got back to Zion in 2nd grade, my mom was taking her back and forth. 3rd grade, stopped it. I am taking you back and forth to school every single day because that's what you require from me. So like, Children's required something from me. Procter & Gamble required something from me. And I met all of their needs of me. And not just met them, but I exceeded it.
Yeah.
I better exceed and meet everything that my daughter requires me to do. Because she didn't ask to be here. Nobody, aside from her father, nobody else is caring for her. It is my job to ensure that her needs are met. And so I couldn't believe that I was
feeling sorry. You can mess up a lot of other stuff in life, but you can't mess that up.
And I couldn't believe I was feeling sorry for 22, 23-year-olds.
Yeah.
No job.
Right.
Scholarships out the wazoo.
Right. But it's because you saw the same thing that you saw in this guy you dated, which is you could be great. Why are you complaining?
If you could be great. Like
if you just work 28 hours a day, you could do it.
Right. So I
Stop complaining.
Yeah.
No.
I think I overdo it. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Because at Cincinnati State, I had a biology class, and it was like 5 or 6 of us, and we were together, and the kids were struggling. I mean, they were struggling. And I was like,
the kids. She called them the kids.
The students in the class?
This is her
the college kids that I was going to school with.
Okay, the kids. Go ahead. No, I'm with you.
After school bus driving, she was also a tutor.
Sounds like she's like a chain smoker.
I really was a tutor, too. I was a tutor. I still tutor.
I know.
But I was a tutor.
You've been here before. You've got an old soul.
Yes.
You do.
I like that. That's a compliment for me.
No, it's true.
Sierra, I feel like this story, your story, cannot happen without a really important person who has helped you. And I'm not talking about Jesus, although Jesus has.
You're talking about my mom.
I'm talking about your mom.
Yes,
and I feel like, I think this is, this is possible, and this energy and this effort, one, because she loves you and believes in you, and two, because she's willing to step in and fill the gaps when you have to be where you have to be, to take care of your daughter and your family. And I love that. And what's that been like? Did you mention that she's your best friend? But it sounds like she's also
I'm
really
trying
a
not
champion.
to cry, Jane. I thought I was going to get through this podcast without tearing up.
Okay.
But when you mention my mom, that's just a line. That's just, my mom is so amazing. She is not just a heroine for me, right? Because she was a young mother. She raised her children, and we're all amazing, right? Like, we're all grown adults, great jobs, families, married. Like, she is the epitome of what I only hope to be. Mm. She is kind. She is compassionate. She's gentle, right? Like, and she got that little bit of like, oh, you gonna do what I said, right? Mm-hmm. Like, she feels, you are correct in saying that she fills the gaps where I could not. When I was in school, she would make sure that when I got home to Harmony, that's my daughter's name, that food would be cooked and I could just eat and enjoy my time with her and my daughter. She is so amazing. But what nobody knows is that in the midst of her constantly being there for me, she has lupus. Mm. And so there were a lot of times where she was sick, like having a flare up. And I was like, Mom, no, like, if I have to like call off, or if I have to like message my professors and tell them that I can't, right? Because I had a good rapport with my professors because I was a 4.0 student. Like,
and because you talked to everybody.
I talked to everybody. Like, we were great. We were great friends, right? Like, so if I need to message my professor and just let them know that I can't come in, or, virtual, I don't know what needs to be done, I need to do it. Like, I'm not leaving you here to pick up or drop off or do that. And she would say, I want you to get done what you got to get done because you're going to be successful. I'll take care of it. And it's her. Everybody thinks like, yeah, Harmony is definitely cornerstone. Like, I have to do what I need for her, but it is my mother that she is the driving force. Again, aside from Jesus, she is that driving force for me. And once I got a good job and once I was able to like really take care of her, because, like, my mom would, like, ball out on me, even if I had money. Like, even if it didn't matter. She would ball out on me. Yeah. And so now it's reversed. And so I'm like, oh, Ma, we going here. We doing this. What you want to do? And she's always like, oh, well, you shouldn't be taking care of me like this. And I'm like, no, I should. because you deserve this and more. Like she is so amazing. And like, I got to a point where I was able to pick and drop Harmony off, and she's so amazing. And this is why I got to a point where I was able to like do everything that needed to be done for Harmony. And she got to feeling like she wasn't needed. And I'm like, no, that is not it. You are 100% needed. I wanted to take some of the load off of you because I can.
Right. And it's a gift to be able to give
back.
It's a
right.
gift to be able to give
but
back.
For her, it was like, I am a grandmother. This is my job. Me doing this for you wasn't for you. It was for me, right? Like I'm a grandparent. And
sounds like
so
she's an empath too.
Yeah, she is an empath. So we have that in common. And so I had to realize that her being there for me was not even for me. It was for her. She wanted the relationship with my daughter because now her and my daughter are best friends. And we fight all the time to sit next to my mom, which...
I'm just thinking this guy, I can't believe he lasted 3 months.
I know.
You know, there was a 3-person vote happening there.
Yeah. 3-person vote.
Okay, so how are you getting, because I know this pediatrician thing is still there.
Yeah. What's next?
What's next for Cierra?
That's what I know.
So 4 full-time jobs happening.
I did.
Are you? Yeah, you still got the kindergarten, the P&G, and the
Kindergarten kids
surf. Are you
she's gotta
still
get
at
back to
4?
kindergarten
Yeah.
in a minute.
Are the children here,
Right after
Jane? Are
community
they here?
service.
After
Well,
That is
they
her
did say that once I started UC that I still had that position to be a teaching assistant at
Oh my goodness.
UC. So I mean, it could be arranged, you know.
Okay.
That's what's up. Like, come on, like drop the mic. I won't drop it because Carly will kill me, but drop the mic. Right? Carly's in there, producer Carly.
no.
I like to
Do
bring
not
Carly
drop
in here.
the mic.
Student producer Carly is in
Maybe
the
she can
house.
come in and talk to us for a little bit.
Oh my goodness.
She'll yell at us over the microphone. She's like, don't touch the table. Go ahead.
We're gonna be hearing from Dr. Campbell
Okay.
one day. We will have
We're gonna have
a FutureProof. FutureProof with Dr. Campbell, and we can't wait. And I've loved having you here, and I've loved hearing your story. And I'm telling you, there is a space here for you to teach.
Yep.
There's a space here for you to do Cierra Boot Camp.
Now.
Yep.
And you know, I mean, we can fit it in I know in the 9 to 5 somewhere. We'll get it from 1 to 2:15.
Right. While you're driving in the car.
You can just teach the class in the car.
Right, in the car.
On the way.
No, seriously, you know, I just met you this week. You were Jane's student, and I just appreciate, you know, everything is purposeful and intentional.
Yes.
Like you said, all those P&G people, and thank you just for being with us. I feel like I'm a better person because I met you. No, truly. I mean that. Thank you for blessing us, and thank you for blessing our students and our listeners with your story. We appreciate you very much.
Thank you for having me. Yay.
The FutureProof podcast is brought to you from Studio 459, up on the hill at Cincinnati State's main campus in Clifton. This podcast is produced in conjunction with the Cincinnati State Audio-Video Production Program, its students and faculty. Student producer is Carly Baker. If you like what you heard here, please hit the subscribe button. If you're an employer or potential student interested in the programs Cincinnati State has to offer, please visit cincinnatistate.edu.